Welcome to myRockworld. Hello, members. We have.
Hello, members.
Yeah, wow.
Hello, members. It's Marco
Today
Mendoza
we have
here.
a cool interview with Marco Mendoza from the Dead Daisies, who played tonight at the backstage and will return on a cool tour soon to Germany with The Answer on a double headliner tour.
Yes.
So let's start.
Hello.
With the first question.
Hello.
But first, no,
Alles
let's
klar, Germany. Alles klar. Alles klar.
welcome to Munich.
Dankeschön. Good to be back. I love this city.
So let's start with the first question. The Dead Daisies, as we all know, was founded 2012. And after the debut album and the last album, Revolution, which is a great album.
Actually, there's another one before.
Yeah, this is the second. The Revolution is the second one. And
Very
before is the debut album.
Which was The Face I Love.
Ah, you had a name.
It was an EP.
This is brand new news, which
That's what
you
I'm saying.
didn't know.
It was an EP. It was 5 tracks.
Cool.
And we decided to just, as soon as we all got together with Richard and Dizzy and Stevens, John Stevens before John Karabi, we started writing. I mean, the vibe was so strong. It was like, come on. And we were in New York rehearsing, and we just booked a studio, and we went in, boom, 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 done. It was amazing, man. The energy. I mean, not to interrupt, but the energy about this band is like that. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, but this is interesting news. Then we had the last great album, and as we met in Berlin last time when you did the tour with Gibbs, we had the Revolution album, which was a great album.
Thank you.
But then after that, there was another big changes in the lineup. And the two guys, as we all know, left for
another little
small band, which is now on a rehearsal or not on a rehearsal tour, but they do some shows.
They do sound checks in stadiums.
Yeah, they do sound checks in stadiums. We don't know about the name. It's not necessary.
I do. It's called Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Guns N' frickin' Roses.
But the good thing is, after these guys turned the band off, then a good friend of Marco returned to the band came into the band, which is Dog. Aldrich. He's the great guitar player from Whitesnake.
Great.
So then also Brian Tichy, which is also had been at Whitesnake. You had been at Whitesnake. So half of the Dead Daisies are Whitesnake.
So we are the son of Whitesnake.
Yeah, you're the son of Whitesnake.
We are Whitesnake Light.
So fans, and the cool thing is they will release this week a new album. And what is the title, Marco?
The title is Make Some Noise.
So let's speak about the new album, Make Some Noise. And we want to make some noise. I heard that there are 2 covers on it.
Yes.
The one is from the CCR, it is Fortunate Son. And the other thing is Joined Together from The Who. Why you did choose these two covers?
These 2 songs. Well, Fortunate Son, if I remember correctly, was one of the songs that we started doing. You know, we've been doing radio shows in the U.S. and here, and in the mornings, you know, it's a little bit hard for us sometimes to get up at 7 in the morning or 8 after you've done a show before and you travel. But we get up and we understand the importance of promoting.
Yes.
So if a radio show says come and hang out with us, bring some guitars. We'll do an interview, we'll talk about this, we'll talk about that, and maybe you can do a song or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Well, the word got out that we were doing that, and so as you can imagine, now the next radio wanted us, and the next radio, every city. So we started goofing around with cover songs, and every time we get together, John is a big CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival fan. So am I.
Yeah.
That was the first band I started learning to play guitar with.
Yeah.
And everybody else. And so this is a song that we were doing acoustically at the radio show. And management heard it and said, that's a cool song.
Yeah,
why don't we try and do it on the stage, on the big stage? And we did it, and to be honest, no exaggeration. We played it one time and never rehearsed. It was like done.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's one of these songs.
It's one of those songs, and the audience accepted it. We tried it in Israel, I think, for the first time last year.
Yeah.
And they went, wow. So that's one of the reasons. The other thing is, you know, we're all big fans of The Who. The Who is been one of the quintessential rock bands of the century, together with the Stones and the Beatles and so many more, Aerosmith and
The Who
Thin
were,
Lizzy.
I am right with you. The Who were the best live band in
Yes.
the beginning, end of the 60s, beginning of the 70s.
Absolutely.
I
And
saw them with Keith Moon.
Did you? Oh my gosh.
1973. It was awesome.
Insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
And so we see the videos, we like the music, and the theme of the album that we were trying to just make some noise and celebrate rock and roll.
Yeah.
And the title is something that kind of appealed to us. You know, join together with the band, we're going to make some noise and let's take it and celebrate life.
Yeah.
And we heard it. We all played it in the room. Marty Fredrickson was there, our producer. Management was there, and we all, you know, like this, with guitars and all that. And we're listening to them going. Everybody started playing their parts, and it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that simple.
Very good.
But it comes down to the bottom line. Like you guys, we're all fans of music still.
That's it.
I'm still a big
it.
fan.
That's it.
I celebrate those years, and we've all had this conversation before too. In many interviews, it's unfortunate, but that era, the '60s, the '70s, and the '80s, is disappearing from the map. The new generations don't know who the Who is.
This is what we all have to do, and this is also what myRockworld does: bring back the passion for music
And the memories.
The passion, the memories.
You have to connect it. You have to connect it to the memories.
Yes, and new generations are waiting for it. My daughter, who's 13 years old, right?
You're right.
Orange County, California, Southern California. Last year, on her Christmas list, she wanted a turntable and some vinyl.
Great.
And I'm like, wow, I got chills because it's like, wow, this is what we used to do when we were kids.
Have you seen the new movie All Things Must Pass, The Rise and Fall of Tower Records?
I know, I have
You
to.
have to look it.
Okay.
Then you understand
All Things Must
everything,
Pass. I
because
gotta
this
write it down.
Was our times.
Yes.
But let's speak about the new album, Make Some Noise.
Thanks, bro. Yeah.
We now know that there are 2 cool cover songs, but what about the other songs? Tell us something about the other songs, how they come together. How do you write the songs in general? Is it more a jam thing and then you do it, or is it really composed and then you got into the studio? How you do you think it? How was
we
the
don't
new
do.
production?
Yeah, we don't do the pre-production. We don't.
Nothing.
No, I've been part of quite a few bands where we do that. We do the pre-production. You write everything. You get the lyrics and melodies, and pretty much you just go in there. We wanted to stay away from that. And Marty was a proponent.
To keep the freshness.
Yeah, and Marty is a proponent of that. Meaning he supports that. He says, "No, man, you got to go for the magic." There's something very magical that happens when you're in a room in a studio and you're recording, and there's no nets. You don't know where the next part is coming, and you're listening to each other, and you're trying to find a part. And sometimes it just clicks. It goes,
Yeah.
"That's the shit. Record that. Let's record that one." Boom. And so we did a lot of that. As far as the songwriting, everybody comes from strong songwriting, abilities and history. And Brian, brought a lot of ideas. Brian Tish, he's a great songwriter and guitar player as well. I brought a few. We all did, John and Doug and David Lowy. We all, in the backstage before a gig, were coming up with ideas and record it on the phone now. You record ideas on the phone, and then
cool.
So when the time to record came, we all got together like this, couches, acoustic guitars, with the producer, and we broke down which direction, what songs belong to each other. Doug and I came up with a song in the studio too, which is the Freedom song, which is Harley Davidson, wind in the hair, just going bananas, and we kept it. So it comes from, I think it comes from years of experience.
Okay.
It comes from everybody really, everybody digging each other.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mutual respect, and there's a lot of history and a lot of expertise. Everybody's really strong in their department.
Yeah.
You got the cream of the crop here.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I think so.
And then John just did a brilliant job with the lyrics. We all helped him when he needed, and so it's very cool how this band works.
Yeah.
It works like a band.
It's the old
collaboration.
thing of a band,
old-fashioned.
the classic thing.
Yes, and we've had conversations about that as well. We want to bring that process back because it's very strong when you hear a band representing the band. It's not the band representing the vision of one guy or two guys or one guy. This is the whole spectrum. Everybody's involved in the writing process. You know, nobody told me bass parts to play. Maybe there's some direction. Nobody told Brian what drum parts.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little suggestions.
Yeah.
Same thing with the guitar and the vocals. And it's cool, man, how if you get out of the way, I believe in that. Get out of the way, get out of the process, keep your ego in check, and let the music happen.
Yeah.
And when you have this many years of experience between all of us, it happens.
Yeah. Then you're funny and the energy drives straight into the audience.
Yes, and you have fun on stage. We insist on that.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it's great. It's a great
So, did you think about, because you have different graphic arts on the CD and the different graphic arts on the LP?
Yeah.
And your manager just told us, it was his strategy to do that,
Yes.
that everything is different.
Yes.
I think this is a good idea, but the cool thing is we have
The original.
only original vinyl, first vinyl
The first
art.
print. You have
The first print, we have it.
No way.
So we do a pic after
Can I have it?
with it. Yeah,
You gonna give it to me?
make
No,
some
you're
big
not.
noise, my friends.
That's great.
So the album is released this week.
Yes.
And you
August
will
5th.
be on tour again in Germany.
Yes.
With the
November.
answer.
With the answer. November, December, we're coming back. I don't have the dates exactly
So
for
these
Germany.
are totally 2 headliner shows.
2 headliner shows.
Full
and
shows from both bands.
full shows. We love the answer. I know the guys. I love their music. They've been around for a while, and they actually supported Thin Lizzy when I was. So we believe in them, and it's going to be fun.
It will be fun.
And
because
they have been on tour also with AC/DC.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That's true.
we know them very well because we did pretty hard, cool pics with them.
Yeah.
You did.
Because the drummer is so funny. The drummer is the manager, the drummer is everything.
He does everything.
And the drummer is also the butcher of the band, so he has the big knife and he wanted to have the big knife on the photos. So that's rock and roll,
Nice.
you know.
I love it.
So we spoke about the new record and we spoke about the strategy of songwriting and the joining together. We understand everything, which is cool that the band wanted to have also this free passion. Do you think about when you record an album in a CD format or more in the old days of a vinyl where you have just, let's say, 40 minutes and bring in the best songs just for the 40 minutes?
It's a double album.
It's a double album.
You didn't know that.
So it's a double album. How many songs?
To get 11 songs.
Okay.
I believe there's going to be a bonus track for different territories. So there'll be 12. And that's why you want it to sound good. You can't cram all that information. So it's a trick.
Very
but
good
do we
idea.
think about, we don't think about it, to be honest. That's where management, I got to give him a lot of credit because he's doing it all.
Okay.
He
puts you away
he's got
from all the shit and you
the
can
strategy.
do the music.
We
Yeah.
do the music. We suggest things, and he listens, and he takes the best ideas and input, and then he runs with it. I have complete trust in him. I know the guys too.
Yeah.
But complete. He's been doing a brilliant job. So, yeah, a lot of credit to him, man. I think that if we all had an opinion, you have 5 guys with strong opinions, we'd still be figuring out what artwork to use on the CD. That's just how it is.
Very good.
I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. No, but I like it in blue. No, man, red's the shit. But I'm a green guy. Oh, no, why don't we just call it? Why don't we do another white album?
I think.
Why don't we do another white album?
Nothing on it. But I think, you know, the Dead Daisies are a brand. They are called the Dead Daisies. You have to integrate the photo of the dead skull.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's a straight thing and it's cool. It looks cool because you have always, if you have thousands of albums in a record shop, you definitely will remember this one.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
And if there is a good music
It's
on
called
it,
marketing.
And this is marketing, and it's all about marketing. Doesn't just means speak about the things you do.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
simple.
exactly. But the initial bam, the initial eye candy needs to be there. There's companies that do studies for years and years to know what works and what's working today as opposed to 5 years ago. And so, yeah, he's put a great team together, and
Perfect.
and we're trying to do the best we can.
What are the plans now? So it's release the album, touring a lot into 16, as we spoke, Germany coming with the answer. But we also read that you are playing with Kiss in America. Is that right?
Yeah, we actually, when is it? August, mid-August. I don't have the dates, but I believe we finished in Zurich, Switzerland, the 8th. Maybe on the 9th we're in the U.S. with Kiss. That's another thing I don't memorize unless I have to, the dates and what's happening, because if you ask me, today is Wednesday and what's the month, February, I don't know. What year, 1964?
He always looks cool, you know.
No. It's hard to explain.
No,
when you get into this touring rhythm, it becomes a blur.
We have to. This is what we always do, and what we always have to say. If any one of the fans would know how hard it is for a musician to work, because we met them, it's not about a lot of groupies and all that shit stuff.
Yeah.
It's about lots of hours of waiting, traveling, sound check, preparation, everything.
The logistics of it
most
all.
of the musicians are so tired after the shows. We met, so they
I'm
just
the
lay
exception.
around.
I'll tell you, me, I'll be one of the exceptions, because one, for a lot of reasons, I get really pumped up, adrenaline, and I don't drink. I don't do any drugs. I've been sober for 28 years. So for me to get psyched for the show, the adrenaline, the endorphins, the whole thing, and when the show ends, I'm like, I love to go out and say hello to the fans and say thank you and spend some time, because that winds me down too. Let's take some pictures, that sign, that's thank you so much for your support, etc., etc. And that's part of my wind down. And then I get to the hotel and it's like silence. TV on,
Interesting is.
news, talk to my kids, talk to my wife, Skype, and then I don't go to sleep until 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah,
That's just
it's
normal.
a process.
And then, sometimes we have to get up 2-3 hours later to just do it.
Yeah.
And you rest on the day off.
Yeah.
So it's very demanding, but I will say I love it. I love the whole process. I love the process of a bunch of guys writing some songs, going into the studio, recording, having fun, and then touring and playing, and then having the audience sing the lyrics. Come on, man, that's just, it's amazing. There's no more
amazing.
satisfaction than that.
you're
As an
right.
artist, as a musician.
And this band, because I heard them already live, is a killer live.
Thank you, man.
Because they just have fun on stage.
Yeah.
I thought first when I saw you at the Kiss show, I thought about my God, this reminds me a little bit to a very early Faces show I saw at the early 70s, where the girls went on stage and just had fun. It's not about posing or something. They have just fun.
Yeah.
And the people in the audience, they catch this fun and party. And
Fun
this is rock
is
and roll.
contagious. Comedians the best comedians have fun on stage.
That's it.
They're not in the head. They're having fun, and it's contagious. It's not tangible. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. You can't bottle it. You can't put it in the can. It's energy that's. I see you smiling and laughing. I'm gonna go, what's he laughing about? Oh shit! It's contagious.
Yeah.
Same thing with entertainment. With
you're right.
music,
So now a question which we always love, because we always love to get the roots of the musician. So what are and what were maybe are still your heroes starting out to play music for you?
For me, the first, I got into music for a bit, and the first band that made a big difference for me was the Beatles, because it was the first vinyl that I got.
Cool.
Up to that point, I was listening to radio, and I had a little guitar, and I was learning chords and all that. But when I heard Abbey Road, That changed my life. That was Pandora's box. It's like, and I put the needle down.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I started going on these journeys and daydreaming, and my brother and I used to stand around with brooms, pretend there was a guitar, and he was the drummer, and we learned the lyrics, and we learned. It was just Abbey Road. After that, it was Let It Bleed, the Stones, all the CCR stuff, Grand Funk Railroad,
This is a great band. My God.
even Ted Nugent, who I ended up working with later on. Ted Nugent, big fan. Deep Purple, on and on, Zeppelin, so many, to be honest. So many. If I did an interview tomorrow, I'd probably say different. But the quintessential moment for me
Was the Beatles.
was the Beatles,
Yeah.
and it was Abbey Road in particular. That album.
And this is why you choose the bass also?
No.
Because you loved the bass?
I
or,
loved
or you had another bass hero?
I had back then. I was playing enough guitar. I didn't really figure it out yet. I didn't know I was going to be playing bass.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing guitar, rhythm, and a little bit of lead here and there, not much. More of a singer. The rhythm, and because if you think about it, rhythm guitar and singing comes easier than any other process. So that's where CCR became fun, because 3 chords. Yeah. When I was just a little boy, my mama said,
Yeah.
1 chord. Roll down the bayou.
Yeah.
Unfortunate Son, and Down in the Corner, and Proud Mary, and all that. So it was easier music for me to play, and that's when I started developing. So this other band, we had a garage band, my brother and I. My brother was the drummer. And this other garage band in the hood, in the neighborhood where I grew up, they already had a van, and they had a PA, and they had their name, Peace Association in the van, and they were doing bigger gigs, school gigs and parties, and so they were further along. Their bass player left town.
So it was your chance.
Well, they saw me sing, and they needed a singer, but they asked me, could you play bass? I said, yeah, why not? I pretty much lied.
A good start to
But it's true. I said, sure, why not? I had no idea. And then I listened.
Just 4 strings, it's easier than 6 strings.
You're thinking.
No, you're thinking, yes.
So I'm thinking, yeah, why not? Riff, 1 note. And then they gave me I think we were using cassettes then, of the 6 songs they wanted to audition me with in a week.
Yes.
And it scared the shit out of me.
For sure.
Because I'm going, wow, I don't even have a bass. How am I going to, on the guitar, try to tune it down? And then now I have to sing and play. It was like, wow. So my dad, this is how cool my dad was. My dad saw me concentrating. He saw the face of fear. He said, what's going on? I had a great relationship with my dad. I said, oh man, I'm really scared. I have to audition. Oh, congratulations. You're going to kick it. You're going to do great. Well, yeah, but I don't have a bass. Well, and so what's the problem? You don't have a bass? Get in the car. I swear to God. Got in the car. We went to a pawn shop. I said, where's the bass? Oh, that's a bass right there. How much is that? $5, $8. Okay, boom. Dude, now I had a bass, and I put a lot of time. I dedicated a lot. And it was difficult at the time, because the bass playing is not only strumming, but it's rhythm, and you're breaking the rhythm, and you're singing, one of these things. So it started earlier. I really liked it because it was challenging. It was like rhythm guitar. I could play it. It became easy for me, right? The bass was like
a challenge. Understand.
And it has nothing to do with the difficulty. The difficulty is understanding your role in the band. So now I had to really listen to the drums, and then I had to sing at the same time. So the brain is going.
Yeah.
And I loved it, the challenge of it all.
Yeah.
And
because if you have a drum and a bass, and if they are working together,
and then you have the melody.
It is the bass.
So my favorite songs to sing was Grand Funk Railroad.
What song?
Mark coming home and get ready and foot stopping music.
Footstopping music is awesome.
Come on, everybody, we're gonna have it. And the basses go, and then
And the straight drums of Don Brewer.
And I developed this thing where it was like, wow, it was really cool.
This is the thing. Normally, all we in the interviews we always, if we have this question, that we say to the musicians, sing your favorite song from your favorite hero, and they have a guitar and they play. And we had Wolfmother. They picked out a lot of instruments and play. But you sing now a lot of songs. So he
I
did
can
some
sing in the bass part,
CCR. Yeah. Let's do some bass parts.
He come on flat top, he got grooving up slowly, he got boom 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 boom, he got boom 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 boom. Gotta be a joker, he just do what he please. Everybody sing now. Come on.
Come together. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you develop, or something in the way she moves.
Perfect. Great.
Here comes the sun, and on and on and on and on.
Perfect. As we all know, the music business changes dramatically. So, what is your way to survive and be successful? What do you think?
A long time ago, I decided to be a musician. I decided to jump on this illustrious voyage of being a working musician, and decided that this was back when we were talking about when I got recruited at 16 years old by a big touring band. I knew that this is going to be something I did for the rest of my life. So it's a commitment. And after so many years, you realize that you're going to have the highs, you're going to have the lows. And if you support yourself and your family like I am right now through your working, you find ways, you become very handy at making things happen, which is why I do my solo project. When I first got to LA, I got sober, first of all. That was a big difference. That's when my life turned to the best. I got sober in '87. And I decided, okay, now I wasted a few years. I had a big problem with alcohol and heroin and all that. I got to the point where people were not calling me anymore because I was a mess. A lot of baggage. I would either show up late, I wouldn't prepare the music, or not show up at all.
Yeah.
And when I showed up, I was all messed up.
The drugs was your life. Yeah. And then you changed.
They took over completely. So the reputation got around not to call me. So I found it to be, my obsession, my compulsion was to reverse all that. Now I'm going to show up earlier. I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to kick some ass, try to look as good as I can, have a great attitude. And I call it the attitude of gratitude. I show up to any gig and I try to deliver what they expect me to deliver. And then the word gets around. So for a moment, I thought I was going to be the session guy. I was recording tons in LA. I mean, one time I'd be recording with Al Jarreau, the other time I'd be Edgar Winter, and then Bill Ward, his first album, and then John Sykes, and then on and on and on and on. And so I thought for a minute I was going to be a session guy.
Yeah.
So that was cool. When it started slowing down, and I found that I needed to have music in my life, not only hearing it, but I need to be performing it, I got addicted to it. So I made gigs. I put guys together in LA. I call them, I go to venues and say, hey, you don't have music here. I could come here and...
It's a good idea. Well,
I did.
You have to do something. Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
I went to one venue that was a big hang in LA in the Valley, And they said, sure, we'll try you, you know. And the money was very little, so I paid the musicians. And from that point on, I realized, wow, this is cool. I dig this. There's a market for something somewhere.
Yeah.
You have to go out
Yeah.
and find it.
Yeah.
That's it.
This is a good. This is it.
To be an artist,
Yeah.
to be an artist, you have to find those pockets of opportunity. So you have to be on. Your radar has to be on.
Yeah,
That's
you're
why I
right.
don't have time to do shit, to
Yeah.
drink and drugs. I don't have time. I
Very
don't.
good. Very good
Advice.
words.
It's
very
true,
good
though.
Words. It's about that. So at last, please tell us a secret or a funny story about the Dead Daisies that nobody knows. Maybe a funny turbo secret. Anything.
Funny.
A funny thing nobody knows.
That nobody knows. Wow, there's so many. Funny. Oh, well, it's always funny when you get in front of, like, who was it? Kiss. We go out in front of Kiss, big arena, sold out show and all that. And this has happened a couple of times where, you know, it's announced, we do the opening tracks and all that, and the people going, wow. It's embarrassing too.
Yeah.
And you go out there, man, and then everybody starts playing, and all of a sudden, you're posing, and you're all engulfed in this freaking rock and roll thing, and then you look down, and your balls are hanging out of your pants. because your pants are made out of leather, and leather with the sweat and all that, they tear. So that's happened to me a couple of times.
Really?
I have a pair of pants that I've been wearing. I'm not kidding you. They're my favorite pair of pants, leather pants, and you see them in all the pictures. I've been wearing them for more than 10 years, even from Whitesnake. They're Whitesnake. I mean, I love them. They're very broken in. They're like a shoe. You buy boots, niche boots, you wear them for a year or two, then they become perfect. So, I repaired those pants over and over. The other time is with Whitesnake, a moment with Whitesnake, because we've been talking about it. We were laughing about it the other day, and Doug brought it up. We used to put on a big show with Whitesnake. Big, a lot of eye candy, So at one point, it's Still the Night, which is the encore.
Yeah.
We had a lighting director, we had the same team, so I used to, at a certain time, the guitars are ringing, I throw the bass up, right? And the lighting director, would follow it with the spot. And the timing would boom, and I would turn around, catch it, and come in playing again. So this particular time, the lighting director, got fired or got replaced by another lighting director. You can imagine.
He did follow.
So, and I get on my knees and throw the bass, man.
Where's the bass?
Exactly. It was like black. This is the whole house goes black, and they put the. Well, I'm like, oh shit. Pow!
Really?
Right in the head, man. I have this guy. And it knocked me out to the floor. Pow! Shit! And the bass, my tech runs out.
And the audience thought it was a show?
Yeah. And so the audience comes out. My tech comes out, grabs the bass. You okay? And I'm like, yeah, okay. And there's blood just coming out. And then I heard Tommy on just go, "Brakataka, brakataka, shaka." I grabbed the bass and came in. There was blood everywhere. It was insane. That's a funny moment.
It was a breezy kiss.
And then
with the true blood.
it was true blood. And then I'm up front, and the audience, the first 2-3 rows, I swear to God, I saw a couple of guys go,
Yeah. It's cool.
this is Gene Simmons light.
Gene Simmons light is cool.
And so many other situations like
Very
that
good.
constantly.
So this brings us to the last words. Please, some last words to your fans.
Here in Germany or all over the place?
All over the
Everywhere.
place.
Well,
Because we are all over the place.
first of all, thank you so much for all the support, and thank you guys. You guys make a difference. That's the bottom line, especially in today's market. Social media is so important to what we do. So thank you so much for the support. All I can say is I wish I had the chance to meet each and every one of you guys so I can thank you. I know the rest of the band feels the same way from the management down, because the response has been over the top, and we're very happy, you know, and we want to have the opportunity to deliver. So if we haven't come to your place to play, go to the local agents or promoters and find a way to get in touch. And the deaddaisies.com is all the info is there, and we'll come and make an opportunity. So
And a little secret from me at the end. Marco will do a solo album, and we have another interview maybe soon about a coming solo album.
yes, absolutely, very, very good. I'm going to keep it off the radar for a minute, and it's going to be a great surprise.
Very good.
People,
Thank you a lot, Marco. And we have a great show tonight, and it was a cool moment with you.
Thank you so much.
Ciao.
MarcoMendoza.com too. Peace.
Perfect.